Bert Oliva's Mastermind Circle.
Welcome back to another Mastermind session. I want to first of all thank every one of you that are here because you're taking their time to expand your mind and learn some new things and meet some new people. However, I also want to thank the new people that have joined us. And today we're going to have a session. We're going to talk about the holiday blues. But before we get into that, let me do what I normally do, which is introduce myself. My name is Bert Oliva, and I've been doing this for over 22 years now. And for the new people, that we have a few new members. This basically will do the introduction, tells you a little bit more about Mastermind, what we do, and what I'm all about. And then we'll get started.
Bert Oliva is an international orator. He speaks around the world about his experiences and teaches humanology, the scientific study of human potential. He has enchanted audiences all over the world, showing them the power of mind over matter.
He's one of the most talented speakers out here, and I highly recommend him to any type of.
The more prepared you are, the luckier you'll be.
He is the world-renowned authority on leadership and human behavior.
Mr. Bert Oliva.
Bert Oliva!
He's considered the voice of inspiration and motivation. Today he'll pass his knowledge on to all of us.
For over 2 decades, Bert Oliva has touched the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Bert has a dedicated social media following and an impressive online influence few possess, enabling him to communicate with audiences he has touched near and far.
I think he's one of the greatest motivators out there.
The thing I love about Bert is he's on stage and he gives his heart every single time.
He has developed many programs, recorded audio CDs, and written books, all of which to help those ranging from individuals to corporate and Fortune 500 companies. He has dedicated his life to speaking all over the globe and met some of the most influential and powerful people in the world.
Okay, let's go.
He has also coached highly successful business executives and politicians.
Normally seen as impossible.
I believe that I did it.
An infectious motivator.
So get ready to learn tools that will help you tap into your potential.
Pay attention, this is real stuff.
Get ready to have an experience you won't soon forget. Please help me welcome Bert Oliva.
Well, before we get started, there's a couple of things I want to bring up. Number one, I've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of the members about all the interviews that we've had throughout the year. And if you know of anyone, or even yourself, if you're interested in being interviewed and you have an interesting story and some tools and techniques that the Mastermind members can benefit from, please do not hesitate to contact Valerie. And that way we can probably put you on the lineup. Also, if you know of anyone that can benefit the members in Mastermind, please let us know also, because this is all about us growing as a group and learning from each other. And you know, we have a great lineup coming up for the beginning of the year and a couple of interviews before the year ends, so it's going to be really nice. I'm really excited. But today we want to talk about holiday blues. So this is going to be more of a session, and I'm just going to give you 7 top tools or techniques that you can use, or maybe awareness tools that you can actually look at and then feel that maybe some of these tools will work for you. So if you guys are ready, raise your hands. I want to make sure you guys are here, you're paying attention, you're getting involved. There's a button on the bottom that says raise your hands. Perfect. All right, here we go. Holiday blues. What do you do for the holiday blues? And a lot of people say, well, you know, I usually don't have them. Well, everyone has them every now and then, and especially in the holidays. So let's go through some of the tools. Here we go. Holiday blues usually gives you depression, anxiety, or stress, and not in that order. It can come in any different type of order, but at the end of the day, that's really what happens to a lot of people. They get depressed, and they get very anxious about the holidays coming near or certain dates, and stress. Like, for example, for me, my mom passed away about 3 years ago, and it's still difficult for me on the holidays. Whenever, you know, like Thanksgiving, we had the family over, and actually family came from all over the world, the country, and she was still not there. So, you know, it's a little difficult, but you know, there's some of these tools I'm going to provide with you today, and I'm share with you today, are tools that I've used to make sure that I stay on my point, or stay in an awareness position to be able to not only benefit myself, but benefit the people around me. All right, let's start with number 1. Be reasonable. with your schedule. Do not overbook yourself. A lot of people want to do so many things and go to so many parties or gatherings. And for the most part, a lot of times you overbook yourself. You get stressed out because you want to be everywhere even though you can't. It's okay to sometimes say no. So if someone invites you and you really can't do it, just tell them, look, this year I won't be able to make it, maybe for next year. So don't overbook yourself. Make sure that you look at your schedule. Make sure that you know exactly what you're going to be able to do with your time. Number 2, emotions tend to run high. The holidays don't. Now watch this. The holidays don't automatically take away negative feelings, which means that if you have negative feelings or you're having a bad month or you've had a bad year, not necessarily is the holiday going to take it away. Not everyone is joyful, especially in Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever your holiday is. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to understand that this is something that people use it as a crutch. I'm supposed to be happy for the holidays. You're not supposed to be anything. Supposed to be you. And the better you become and more comfortable you become with you, the better people will benefit around you. So remember, the holidays is not going to take away the negative feelings. That's something else that you can go back to some of the tools that we've shown this past year and some of the new tools that we're going to be showing on how to change your state and to be able to be in a better state most of the time. But today is just about awareness. Number 3, don't set yourself up comparing today with the good old days. A lot of people do this. Let's say, for example, I remember that one year I had a great birthday. My birthday happens to be in November. So November 10th, we had a great birthday. This year, I'm in Ecuador doing an event, and I was not having a birthday party. So I could have sat there and said, well, I remember the parties with 200 or 300 people show up in my house or wherever we're having the party, and those are great parties. So don't get stuck on the good old days because you're going to miss out on the present. The best days of your life are yet to come. However, you need to be aware of that. And a lot of times you're always comparing your past experiences to what's going on now instead of just enjoying what's happening right around you. In fact, one of the things I was talking about recently to someone is that, back in the old days, not too long ago, you would go to a concert and actually enjoy the concert and maybe take a selfie. Even when you go to one of my seminars, back in the old days, people actually take their notepad and paper, their journals, and they'll take down notes and they'll interact and get involved. Even though they still do that. However, there's still those few people that will sit there and put the phone in front of them and record the entire session, even though they'll never go back and look at it, and miss out on this perfect opportunity, which is now the present, not the past and not the future. So make sure that you stay present in whatever party you go to, wherever you're spending time with. And the good old days, well, guess what? One day, this will be also a good old day. So focus on today, not the good old days. Number 4, help brighten someone's day by giving them a compliment or even volunteering. One of the things that we love to do, besides writing a check to a nonprofit organization or to helping other people, is volunteering. Volunteering is one of the best things in the world. In fact, my children, myself, everyone that's part of BOWA, we actually volunteer a lot of our time and a lot of things that we do. And the reason for that is because there's nothing better than giving a little piece of you to the world. And it's better than writing a check, believe it or not. Even though people say, well, you can write me a check and that'll solve a lot of issues. And the truth is, by getting involved, volunteering, give it a try. And if you haven't done it in a long time, then do it. And if you've never done it, I definitely recommend that you go out there and volunteer to help someone, maybe giving away food to the needy or clothing, or just being involved with an organization that's already doing that, and sign up to volunteer. I really recommend it. Number 5, excessive drinking will only increase feelings of depression. A lot of times people wait for the holidays to really get involved, really have, go play all out and have a couple of drinks. And at the end of the day, a lot of times by having those drinks, and you have a little way too many drinks, excessively, what happens is you start getting more depressed. So make sure that you monitor yourself. If you really go to a place, you'd be surprised how many times you can really have a great time without having a drink. And I'm not here, preaching to anyone that you shouldn't drink or you should drink. Just make sure it's not excessively. In fact, I usually tell that to everyone that I do my coaching with, and everything that I do is to make sure that they live life with balance. Too much of anything, even a good thing, is bad. So finding a balance in whatever it is that you're doing is always going to help you out. Number 6, get out of your rut. Start a new tradition. Spend time with different people and take a trip, etc. Like, for example, LJ and myself, we're going to go, or Charles and myself, we're going to go up to Indianapolis and spend some time with Miles, my son. He just moved up there, and this is the second or third time I've been to Indianapolis in the past month and a half. So, Valerie's going to spend time with her mom up in Asheville, North Carolina. So the whole thing is, take a trip, disconnect. You'd be surprised how much more energy and how much more growth comes from disconnecting. And for those of you that can't take a trip, for whatever the reason is, you can just take a trip and visit someone you haven't visited in a long time. And it could be across town. It could be 20 miles away, 10 miles away. Sometimes we get stuck in our own little home and we don't want to leave our home. And I'm one of those people because I'm really comfortable when I get home, especially after all the travels that we do. But at the end of the day, going out and connecting, like we've been invited to a lot of Christmas parties. We're going to go to one on Friday or Saturday, I think. Yeah. So the whole thing is go out there, spend time, try to create new traditions, get involved, be involved in your life. If you want greatness in your life, you need to take action. Great things don't happen to people that don't take action. And I'm not here trying to beat you up. I just want you to wake up and live the life that you deserve, because we all deserve to have a wonderful life. However, we need to take action. Number 7, this is the final one. Surround yourself with positive people and supportive people. And if you have those, there's a saying that says, love your family, choose your friends. You can't change what your family says or does. You just got to love them. But you could definitely choose your friends and who you're going to spend time with and invest your time. So make sure you find those people that are going to be positive in what it is that you're doing, or give you some positive information, or be able to connect and network one another at a whole different level. Make sure that you put yourself in that state so that way you can expand not only your circle, but your life. And one thing I want to leave you guys with today, because I told you it was going to be really short and to the point. One of the things is that, at the end of the day, tomorrow's not promised. So go out there and make sure that, if you're here today, and there's a lot of you that are here today, that means you're the bigger person. You're not here to waste your time. You're here to either, confirm something that you've been doing or haven't done in a long time, or to learn something new. So you're here to better yourself. And at the end of the day, if you're bettering yourself in your life, and you're fighting for not only being a mastermind, but you're out there going to seminars, you're out there reading books, you're writing in your journal, you're doing all these tools and all these techniques to make yourself a better person, then be the better person. Reach out to people that you haven't spoken to in a long time without any expectations. Because remember, tomorrow is not promised. So when you reach out and to tell someone that you love them or you miss them, don't have any expectations that they're supposed to tell you a certain thing, or they're supposed to talk to you a certain way, or they're supposed to tell you I love you too, or I love you back. And at the end of the day, they might not, for many reasons. One may be that they're too shy or they're in shock that you actually reached out to them. But don't do it with any expectations. Do it because you are growing, you're evolving, and you want to expand your life. Because, it says in the Bible, you reap what you sow. So at the end of the day, if you're sowing some negative things, you're going to reap some of that into your life. So at the end of the day, remember, always keep in your mind, tomorrow is never promised. Anything can happen to us. We can get run over by a car. We can get into an accident. I mean, look what happened to the people that were flying, the soccer team. So you never know. And what I'm telling you is not to live life, being afraid. I want you to live life. I want you to go out there and expand your life and be able to get what God always wanted you to have, or the universe, whatever your God is. You are greatness. And I've said this many of times, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you're here, it's because you have a purpose, you have a dream, you have a goal. And if it's not me or some of the people that I interviewed throughout the year, one tool, one technique, one confirmation can make you a better person. So before I complete this, if you have any questions, I'll take 1 or 2 or 3 questions before we leave. But I wanted just to give you something impactful, something short and sweet, and just to be a little more aware. Be aware of what's around you. Be aware of what you do have, not what you don't have, especially in the holidays. You know, we always complain, you know, the family I used to have, or, you know, my mom, that she's no longer with me. At the end of the day, you know, look what I do have. I have a beautiful family. I have a great team, and I have you guys. And that's really what's important, is make sure that you stay true to yourself and to the world. And to leave you with the last quote, the quote is, feelings are much like waves. We can't stop them from coming, but we can choose which one to surf. So you can choose the life that you really want. But in order for that to happen, you need to become aware and be present. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log off. But before I log off, I know I have a couple of questions. I have 2 anonymous questions. All right, 2 anonymous questions. By the way, some of you are doing anonymous questions, and I've been getting a lot of that recently, lately. And remember, you're a member. Go out and raise your hand. Let Valerie know in the Q&A section below that you want to ask the question live. Because remember, the dumbest question is the one you don't ask. And it could be one question, one tool, one technique. We can even get into a dialogue. We can go back and forth and talk about something. So this is about you. Mastermind is not just about Bert and what it is he's doing in his life. Mastermind is about us. It's about like-minded individuals that want to help and support each other. So what are the 2 questions? How do you reach out to families that you haven't talked to in a long time? There's so many ways. One way is right now social media. You can actually go ahead and message them. You know, a lot of times, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever your preference is, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that don't even pick up a phone or talk to you on the phone anymore, but you can actually connect with them on social media. Reach out and just, you know what I tell people a lot of times? Write a letter and then look at that letter for the next 24 hours. You know, write the letter, don't look at it for 24 hours, and then after 24 hours, you look at the letter again. If that letter is as strong as you meant it to be when you wrote it, then you'll know exactly if you need to send it out or not. So there's no doubt in your mind. Then once the letter is perfect, the way you like it, and if you have to adjust it, you adjust it and give it another 24 hours. And then you send it out. And you'll be surprised on the feedback and the response that you get. So I hope that helps. What's the second one? How do I create a holiday tradition with your family, or with my family, the person asked? Well, a couple of things that, like, for example, I'll give you some examples that we do. Every year, we go out and either buy a tree or have a tree delivered. Once the tree is delivered or we buy the tree, we actually make an appointment with the family to make sure that we put the tree together. And some of us get involved, some of us don't get involved, but we're still there present. And you'd be surprised how those moments are so important. So at the end of the day, everyone knows that I'll be the last one to put the little angel on top of the tree or the star, depending on what we want to choose that year. However, everyone as a family puts the house together, and it's just a way that we create a tradition. And traditions don't have to be really expensive. They don't have to be mind-blowing. They just have to be special moments. And those are the moments that counts. The moments that count in your life are not the big moments that everybody waits for. You know, one day when I become a millionaire, one day when I have all these beautiful things, when I have the perfect house, when I have the perfect, you'll have all those things and it'll never be perfect. The perfect thing in your life right now is you. And once you can connect with you and you're true to yourself as a human being and you expand and grow, your world will change. So unless we have any other questions, no more questions? All right, good. So I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. I know it was short, but it was sweet. It was powerful. Remember, in a couple of days, you'll be able to see the replay. And remember, get involved. Any ideas that you have, any concepts, anything you want to do to see this format or this platform that we have grow, please do. And stay on my social media. Connect with me. I've been doing a lot of seminars. There's a lot of things we have lined up for next year. I'll be doing traveling all over the world. So wherever I'm at, if you want to connect and spend some time together, you know, I'm here in South Florida now. If you guys are in South Florida, please don't hesitate to contact us. And remember, when you guys know who I am, what you see is what you get. So again, my name is Bert Oliva. And remember to live life and don't let life live you. I will see you next Wednesday.
Register online and join us today for all new live interviews and weekly topics only at themastermindcircle.com.